guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island USA Season 4, Episode 10. Now let's get right into the video because we have a lot to talk about, Okay, so Jeff and Bryce came into the villa. So they're getting to know the girls. And, they were like, the girls are asking them their type, who they're interested in. And they were like, oh, I don't got a type, da-da-da-da. So then Zeta plays this kind of game like Truth or Dare. And, you see Jeff, he kissed Bria, he kissed Deb, and then he kissed Zeta. So then Bryce, he was like, oh, I don't got a type, da-da-da-da. Zeta even asked him, like, do you even date black girls? And he was all that stuff. And obviously his type was Courtney. So in the Truth or Dare game, he basically kissed Courtney in the game. Or I think Courtney kissed him in that game. So then after that, Truth or Dare game, you see Timmy staring hard, like, he didn't want his girl to be kissed, like, because he kissed, Jeff kissed both Bria and Zeta. So then he goes to the boys, and then, like, he's talking about, I peep his game, I know how he's operating. You see how he kissed Bria first, but then now, he's talking to Zeta and, getting to know Zeta now. Oh, I peeped him. I know he's on game. And all that stuff. Like, he's so hurt, bro. He's so hurt because that's what he's telling the guys. So then Zeta and Jeff are talking, getting to know each other because obviously he just came in that same night. Like, they don't know who Jeff is. Like, he just came in that night, so there's really not much going on. But they're getting to know each other. Jeff is 24 or 25, Zeta's 29. So, there's a 4-year difference. All that stuff. I think even Bryce and Courtney chat a little bit. And, and then in the Truth or Dare game, Jesse kissed Serenity. So that was a big shock. So in the game, I think Sydney asked Timmy, if you weren't in a couple, who would you, couple up with? And he said Zeta real quick. He said Zeta. So then why you got Bria over here like, oh, I didn't expect him to say Zeta. Like, girl, what is going on through your brain? Like, Timmy and Zeta were coupled up, and you basically stole Timmy from Zeta because your brother picked for you, but you were still going to choose Timmy anyway, besides the point. So how are you upset that Timmy is saying that he would have coupled up with Zeta with the quickness? Like, are you dumb? They didn't end their relationship. You basically came in and tried to stake your claim and stuff like that. Like, girl, what's going on through your head? Like, Zeta and him are still basically operating, the only difference is that you coupled up with him. So he's just being, polite enough to give you some energy and like try to explore the option. But for real, it's not like they ended things. It's like they were in a stable couple, the most stable one at that point, and you over here, oh, I feel some type of way because he said Zeta. So you think just because you and him are coupled up and you gave him a kiss in bed that one night, you think, he forgot Zeta is gone. Like, that was a little, like, weird. Like, are you dumb? Like, please. Like, that kind of irked my soul because how are you gonna be surprised that he would have picked Zeta? Like, you wanted him to say Deb or something? Like, are you, like, she really irked me with that because I'm like, it's not like they ended their relationship and he was like, oh, I'm done with Zeta now. Like, no, you and your brother came in and broke up a happy home, okay? Please stop. But, real talk, after that happened, her talking in the little boathouse or whatever, little clubhouse that they talk in for confessionals, Zeta comes out of the dressing room and she sees Timmy, and Timmy sees her.
Really happy to like pursue it and see where it goes now, so I can kind of meet him where he's at.
Oh, you. How you doing?
I'm right here.
I'm doing okay. You looking really nice tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
I took an arrow to the heart. I've never kissed a mouth that tastes like yours. Strawberries and something more. Oh yeah, I want it all. Lipstick on my guitar.
There's other girls and you. I was looking at you all night.
Well, yeah. Because there's new boys in you.
Shut up about it, y'all.
Because there's new boys in
you.
you.
You don't get me in trouble, but...
Am I?
Yeah. You having a good night?
Yeah, I do miss you.
Yeah, you got me singing like I love it.
So he's like, you look good. And then, he pulls her in, gives her a kiss, and Zeta's like, I miss you. He's like, I miss you back. And they kissing and all that stuff, and kissing. He's like, you're not like those other girls. And he's like, I've been checking you out all night. Like, Timmy? Like, what do you mean you're not like those other girls? I was checking you out all night. Like, sorry, like, what? He's saying this while, Bria's in the little confessional, which is so funny, because just, like, they playing in her face, like, for real, because, Timmy is really just want to stick with Zeta, but he's trying to give Bria a chance. I mean, that's just how I see it. So the next thing you know, after he and, Zeta kiss and have this little, like, oh, I miss you type thing, they get ready for bed. Zeta said that she kissed, Timmy, and her and Timmy kissed or whatever. So then the girls are happy. Like, Courtney is her rider. Sydney, I think Sydney even rides for Zeta too. And Serenity, obviously, #1 rider for Zeta. Zeta-nator, okay? So, they get ready for bed. The boys, Jeff's like, I'm going to sleep in Zeta's bed, because obviously Jeff is applying pressure. Like, the pressure is applied, like, heavily. So next thing you know, in bed, Bria and Timmy are kissing in bed. So in the morning, Serenity asks Bria, like, oh, I heard some kissing sounds, like, what was going on over there? And the thing is, it's so funny, is that Serenity is #1 Zeta-nator, and she goes back, tells, Zeta, like, this is what happened. Like, oh, she was like, oh, I was just joking with her, and she told me that her and Timmy were kissing. So I'm like, Timmy basically kissed you and said that he missed you, da-da-da, and all that stuff, but then he kissed him in bed. So then Zeta kind of felt like a little off, like, I can't really trust this man, because, he's like, be confident in what we have, da-da-da-da, but then you over here kissing girls in bed. But I understand he's trying to give them, give Bria like 100%, but you can't give anybody 100% if you're still feeling somebody. Anyway, like I was saying, Timmy can't give Bria 100% if he's still feeling Zeta. Like, that's just, basic, okay? That's just basic. But he's like, I'm trying to put what we have on pause with Zeta, da-da-da-da. So in the morning, he and Isaiah chatting it up, and he, like, basically retold the story, and he said, like, yeah, I told her I miss her too. And then Isaiah, like, so was it a peck? And then he was like, no, it wasn't a peck. Like, he full on had make-out session with her, basically. Then he makes this analogy type metaphor, like, oh, I already started building a house with Zeta, and then, like, I'm trying to, do something with Bria, but, like, I still have an unfinished house. Which he does. He still have an unfinished house. His connection with Zeta still needs to be, fully explored. Like, you basically run up on Bria. And the funny thing is that Bria is like, addressed him and is like, oh, I was surprised that you said Zeta, you would couple with Zeta, because that's kind of like showing, like, you should have let me know. But I'm like, he did not pick you. Like, he did not pick you at all. I mean, I understand that he did give you the energy to, you know, couple up, you know, have your brother pick him for you, but he didn't pick you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you over here saying like, oh, I should have known. I mean, if you picked Jesse would have still tried to play you and go back to Deb. So, like, let's be real. So he's like, oh, well, like, I'm still, you know, me and Zeta's still not done. So, like, I don't know what you want me to do, basically. So then she basically was like, she has her eye on Jeff too, and basically said that Jeff is her typical type, which is like, oh, okay, Jeff is your typical type? Like, all right. Basically telling that to Timmy. So then there was a challenge, and a motorcycle challenge, and, you know, Timmy play up in Zeta's face, like, oh, he gonna pick her, but then he picked Bria, he kissed Bria, and then Zeta's like, yeah, that's not any type of kiss that him, you know, her and Timmy be having. So she was like, whatever. And then Jeff picks Zeta for the kiss, and okay, he was doing that. So the next thing you know, Jesse's turn, and Jesse picked Serenity to kiss. And, like, Deb standing there like a mug, like, for real. Deb standing there like a mug. She did not get picked at all in a challenge by her partner. And basically, when Jesse comes and tells the guys, he's like, oh, I was just, you know, wanting to kiss Serenity. Like, oh, he just thinking it's a game. But I'm like, you know, Deb didn't even get kissed by anybody else. So it's like, you can't even say, oh, well, Deb got kissed by another person. So, you know, I was just, you know, having fun kissing Serenity or something like that. No, the girl didn't even get picked. So he just basically played in her face. So coming to that, you know, the guys get a text that the girls are recoupling. So you got, you know, Jeff laying it on dick to Zeta, basically like, yeah, Zeta my number one, da 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 da. You know, Bria over here telling Serenity that she doesn't feel confident with her and Timmy. And I'm just like, well, if Timmy keeps on playing around, he about to lose both Zeta and Bria, okay? Because if she can flat out say to Serenity that she is not confident in that relationship at all, and she's feeling Jeff and all that stuff, yeah, if he keep on playing around and don't make a decision, or they're basically like, oh, what he really want, he about to lose both of them, okay? So Dev feels kind of played in her face because Jesse doesn't really put a lot into that relationship right now, and then he just basically made her look like a mug. So, but I'm like, Dev does not have any other options. So I'm like, you can be upset, but like realistically, you don't have any options, okay? And then you got Bria like out to Zeta, because Zeta's like, you know, her heart is with Timmy, but her head is with for now is with Jeff, because Jeff is like basically, you know, saying all the right things. He's basically saying, I'm here for you, only you know, giving her all that energy, all that pressure. And I mean, Timmy is not currently doing that. So therefore, it's like, well, her heart's with Timmy, because obviously Timmy did build, you know, in that week that they were together, he did build. So, yeah. So obviously, Isaiah and Sydney couple up together, because obviously Sydney been wanting Isaiah since like after the second day she was with Andy. The next coupled up was, I believe, Serenity and Chaz. You know, Chaz was feeling like, oh, Jesse kind of slighted him by kissing Serenity, like, oh, you know, messing with bro code or something like that, because he thought, you know, he was making a move on Serenity. But we'll have to see, because when Serenity picked Chaz, he kind of looked a little some type of way. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? Who else? Deb picked Jesse, and then next pick was Zeta. And Zeta was like, you know, I'm putting myself first. So with that being said, I feel like putting yourself first can mean both Jeff and Timmy. So I don't know what that means, but I mean, obviously with, you know, it can either mean both of them, but with, you know, the talk that, you know, Zeta had with Jeff before the recoupling, basically said that he's all in on Zeta. yeah, he played his cards right, because the way that he was like, yeah, like Zeta was taken aback, because he basically was like, yeah, you know, yeah, you're the one. So I don't know what he doing, but he basically put his sights set on Zeta. Timmy looks basically hurt. Like, there's some pain in his eyes though, like mad pain in his eyes. Like, he feeling some type of way for real. I just know Timmy knows where home is, so either if she picks Jeff or Timmy, he know where home is. Like, you can really tell that he would rather be with Zeta than Bria. So, like, don't let him fool you. But anyway, guys, I can't wait to see who Zeta choose on Sunday night's episode. Yeah, who's the guy who's going home? I think the guy who might go home in this case would be, Courtney doesn't pick Felipe, would be either Felipe or Bryce. That's the only thing. Because Andy be escaping, because I think Maddie chose Andy. Yeah, I think Maddie chose Andy. So Andy be escaping these things, because Andy don't really be given anything. So, yeah. So with that being said, the guy who's going to go home is either Felipe or Bryce. Because Bria, if, whoever Zeta does not pick, Bria's going to pick them. That's just being real. So therefore, we'll have to see Sunday night's episode. But yeah, anyway, guys, if you like this video, like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.